everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Golf on Tap. We are back for a final picks show, even though it's going to be like a preview and final picks show. Jack still hasn't placed a wager as he normally does before we hop on the show, but he's still the man that we rely on the most when it comes to golf. So we are going to go ahead and trust his analysis here and then see what his strategy is for this upcoming tournament. We have the American Express. Jack, they are heading back to the States. They were technically in a state for the last two tournaments, but I guess now they're attached to the mainland here, swinging over from Hawaii and into Coachella Valley, California. So this week they're going to be playing on three different golf courses. It's an absolute train wreck to analyze. I want to get your thoughts on this tournament. But first, I want to go ahead and shout out OnTapSportsNet.com. They are our sponsor. We are presented by them. Go ahead and go to Bet Rivers as well. Enter the promo code ONTAP for an up to $250 deposit match. That's promo code ONTAP at Bet Rivers to get an up to $250 deposit match. Jack, that was a lot for the intro. I didn't even ask you how you're doing yet. How are you doing, my friend?
No worries, my man. I'm doing well. Other than the fact that I'm not looking forward to this event whatsoever. It's been a little bit of a poor start to 2023, 0 for 2. Didn't even really come all that close in the Hawaii swing. Maybe this tournament turns things around. I don't feel great about it, but it got to start somewhere, right?
We got to start somewhere. And you know what? I don't even know if this is my week, but I feel like it's my week because there are a lot of long shot options this week. A lot of long odds players or golfers have won this tournament in the past. So I'm feeling pretty good about that type of strategy, even though I really don't feel confident in anything this week. So we'll see how it kind of shakes out. We'll go ahead and preview the courses or this tournament here in a second. But before we do that, first of all, in the comment section, Jeremiah, my boy, our boy at Cubs on Tap, he's always in there at Cubs on Tap. So we love you, Jeremiah. Thank you for tuning in. But dude, like, I don't understand. I mean, I guess I do understand. It's not that I don't understand. I don't know why I said that. But you wrote about this on OnTapSportsNet.com. Again, another plug. Mito, my boy. He's going to Live Golf. R.I.P. 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 Yeah, what did you just pour that in, by the way? I hope you had something underneath there.
No, that was on the carpet, but I had to pour one out for Mito. You pour one out for me. What do we do here?
Your carpet, I mean, that's not terrible. That's not going to ruin anything. But, man, Jack, this one stings, dude. Like, that bozo cost me big-time coin during the PGA Championship last season when he sharded all over his freaking golf bag. And now he's taking presumably a big chunk of change himself, exiting stage left to Live before I can even cash in on him. And honestly, here's the thing. Here's really why I'm upset. It's his talent, dude. It's his talent. We won't get to enjoy this on the big stage where he's ranked in some key categories very highly this season through 8 measured rounds of golf. First in strokes gained tee to green, second in strokes gained approach, first in driving distance. I'm sad and I'm disappointed, Mito. Jack, your thoughts?
Yeah, it's a toughie. Another promising prospect, if you will, in the game of golf. I know Mito's 27 years old, but he really just stepped onto the PGA Tour scene full-time last year after running through the Korn Ferry Tour the year prior. But yeah, it's tough to see Mito go for sure. It's one of those unsurprising moves, but it also sucks. And it's not going to be, the make or break of the PGA Tour, Mito Pereira leaving. But, now that's what I put him in the same category as his childhood friend, Joaquin Niemann, Abraham Answer, some of those young guys who we felt like were on their way to having promising careers on the PGA Tour are no longer here. But as I said, it was unsurprising, kind of had a feeling Mito was going to end up with Live. There have been rumors swirling back to when his good friend Niemann originally departed to LIV Golf, or Live Golf, I guess I should say. And even throughout the rest of the season, there were whispers. Kind of shocked everyone, I think, when he stuck around to play in the President's Cup. But that was probably just the only reason that he stuck around, was to get that experience.
I wondered that. I think that's what it was, really.
Yeah, because shortly after that, literally like right after the President's Cup, rumors picked back up, and then there was a video a picture that went viral of him hanging out with Sergio Garcia and all the Live Golf boys at one of Sergio Garcia's charities. It was literally like every Live golfer was there, and then Mito. It's like, okay, Mito's going to go. But yeah, that's a tough pill to swallow, man. Unfortunate that, I won't say that. If you have the cojones to bet on Mito Pereira at another major championship, he might be able to win you your money back. But otherwise, yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Really, do I have the cojones? I don't know.
I will say there's no denying the skill that Mito has. I mean, when everything's going right, he is clean tee to green, a phenomenal ball striker, and should already be a major champion 1 year into his big time professional career. Fortunately, he gagged it away with a double bogey on the 72nd hole. Still don't
nice club choice.
Still don't understood why he hit driver there. But I guess that's just one of those questions that'll go down in history with the tournament. Why did Mito hit driver on the 72nd hole? The world may never know. But yeah, are you gonna think you're gonna sprinkle Mito down at one of these majors this year?
Man, I don't know. I mean, you did say the rumors were there this whole time. We kind of felt like he was eventually going to go, but so I guess I'm not shocked. But I don't know if I'm going to bet him. Take me to like the week before or 2 weeks before, and then I probably will. Like the futures market for Mito right now is probably smashed into the mud. So maybe actually that might be a decent shot. Yeah, it could be the time to do it with some higher odds. I don't know. I'd have to see what the price is on some of these majors. But yeah, Jack, let's go ahead and get into what we're really here for. But before we do that, though, let's talk about last week just briefly. Siwoo Kim tracked down Hayden Buckley, man, with a 64 on Sunday to win the Sony Open by one shot. Buckley had a chance, too. I was watching it on that final hole, the birdie, and sent it to a playoff. But he was unable to get the job done. Bets didn't go great for me, Jack. 5-4 on props, didn't hit an outright. Mostly thanks to you for the Stewie Sink analysis, though, that I went 5-4. Took him to make the cut and top 40. Wound up profitable, I think, with the props, but about even or around there overall because, again, no outright for me. So, yeah, that's kind of how the week played out. Jack, how was your week betting-wise?
Yeah, not the best. Shout out to Stewie Sink for easily cashing that plus 190 top 40. I mean, he's Mr. Wiley at this point. The dude loves finishing inside the top 40 there. So that was an easy schmackaroo, but that's the only thing that went right for me all week. I did not see Aaron Baddeley outperforming Cam Davis in the top Australian market.
Jeez.
I did have a little bit of a sniff early on Sunday morning, Joey. Matt Kuchar, who I had at 55-1, I think, started the day at 9 under, so he was 6 shots back of the lead. I knew Hayden Buckley was going to have to falter and Cooch would have to go low. Cooch opened up with 3 birdies in the first 4 holes, already cut the deficit to 4. There's only 3 or 4 guys in front of him. And then he just really got stuck in neutral until the 17th hole. It was pretty unfortunate. So, no, a pretty tough week overall. Hopefully we can get back into the swing of things here, though, as the PGA Tour, as you mentioned, is now back in the continental United States. By the way, I'm trying to find – I can't find a Mito Pereira Masters number. I was really looking here, and I don't think they have it listed.
They might have wiped it since the announcement or since the
– They have live guys here like Matt Wolff. Phil Mickelson's listed. I can't find a Mito number, interestingly enough. So I wonder if they put a bad number out and it got hit, or if they haven't put a number down for it yet. But Mito's not listed right now, at least on DraftKings.
That's a good possibility, though. I mean, it very well could have been already smashed at this point, and somebody was like, we're going to be in the hole if that hits. But yeah, they just might not know how to price it right now, because I think you're stepping down in competition. Definitely the way that event is set up, just in general. There's a lot of good competition over there. Don't get me wrong, but just the way the events kind of are played, it's not the same. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with Mito. Definitely can play golf with the best of them, and we'll see if I end up. If I do though, I'll mention it on the show. I can tell you that much because we still remember good old Mito. 3 courses, man, this week. The American Express, 3 courses: Pete Dye Stadium course, the PGA West Stadium course, whatever you want to call it.
The Nicholas, oh, my bad. I'm interrupting. I apologize.
No, you're good. Yeah, then we have the Nicholas Tournament course, the La Quinta Country Club, I guess they call it, right? This is both interesting, I guess that's the right word, and tough to predict. Dude, each golfer will play every round, or each golfer will play 3 rounds at each course, and then the final day, there will be a cut made after that 3rd round, which is very untraditional. And then you'll go ahead and have the final round played at the Pete Dye Stadium course. So 156-man field, top 65 plus ties for the cut. Each course, par 72, ranging 7,060 yards to 7,187 yards. So I don't know, man. What do you think about this week, Jack? Give me a little course breakdown. Even though I kind of I only explained the yardage, but I know you're having a tough time predicting this as well. But what do you kind of see from this?
Yeah, this next 3-week stretch, as much as the courses are awesome, not so much this week, but next week the Farmers at Torrey Pines, and then the week after being Pebble Beach. I love those courses. These are my 3 least favorite events to gamble on. This week, well, I guess I'll go in reverse order. There are 2 Pro-Ams on the PGA Tour schedule. One is this week at the American Express. The other is at Pebble Beach. And then next week, for the Farmers Insurance Open, there will be 2 different courses used there. This week, there's 3 different courses. Everything's just kind of wonky. You don't get shot tracker on La Quinta Country Club or at the Nicholas course. You only get stats and TV coverage, by the way, at the why can't I think of the course name now? The Stadium course, excuse me. That's the only place that gets television coverage or shot tracker. It's like we're in 2005 still. I don't understand it.
Can we just put shot tracker on? Please put it on the shot link data on everything. What are we doing? Like you said, like if you got StatCast data, imagine a Major League Baseball game and they have StatCast data on every single baseball game, but like a market over in the Northwest or something, or like what are you doing? It's the same country, or, you know what I mean? It's the same. You're in the States. How difficult is it to get the shot track data over to the other course where you're literally right there? Go ahead. Yeah.
And that's what makes it so unpredictable. You don't really know any of the numbers or who's good at La Quinta or what player type benefits at La Quinta or at the Nicholas course. You only get that stuff from the Stadium course. And playing 3 different courses the first 3 days, it's all wonky. As I already mentioned, it's a Pro-Am, so you're going to be paired up with so-and-so. The round's going to take 5 hours, so this guy's probably going to go out there and golf an 88. It's a nightmare. It's really is a nightmare. I feel like there's just no need for Pro-Ams anymore. And I don't think there's the need for this course rotation. I don't know. I know some of the players don't really care for this event. I don't care for this event. There's a lot of unpredictability. You can't watch along with it. I hate to talk down about the event, but
we're not getting people excited here, Jack.
I know. I feel bad. But if I'm being brutally honest, first, the PGA Tour coverage as a whole is subpar. And this is the worst of it. So it is a tough event to really feel confident or have a lot of fun with because you're so limited until the Sunday final round, or I guess if you're following along your players when they get to play at the Stadium course, whichever 3 days that may be. Oh, by the way, the cut's after 54 holes here, so everyone's guaranteed 3 rounds. I don't love it, Joey. But I guess on the fortunate side, one thing that you can kind of stick on, Pete Dye is the designer of all 3 of these courses, and he likes to make a lot of his courses pretty darn similar. So as you already referenced, the yardages of all 3 of these courses are pretty much the same, 7,000, 7,100 yards. All play as a par 72, and all of them pretty much demand you to hit the fairway, play a clean game from tee to green, and make your putts. Jon Rahm, who's won this event before, by the way, last year, was pissed off that he didn't do well. And basically, he said on national television that this is basically a putting contest. And that's kind of what it is. If you're playing a clean game, it's going to come down to a putting contest because all these 3 courses build for success the same way. Hit the fairways, hit your green in regulation, make putts. That's really it. The only difficult part of this tournament is when you have to play the stadium course. That's undoubtedly the tougher one because there's water, I want to say, on 8 or 9 of the holes, and there's 90 bunkers, and they're some of the toughest to play out of on the PGA Tour. There's like 30 feet high bunkers. They're pretty ridiculous here. So there is kind of a challenge there at the stadium course, but there are still low numbers. If you're playing a clean game, you can go and shoot 65, 66 at the stadium course as well. We've seen that more often here in recent years. So she's kind of looking for a player that can play a clean game. And I also think it is one thing to consider, not only with just this event, who's performed well here historically, because sometimes guys have just randomly kind of popped up here year in and year out. But also I think you should take a look at all Pete Dye courses, because as I already mentioned, they tend to play pretty similar and produce the same kind of leaderboards historically in the past few years, Joey.
Yeah, no doubt. It's very strange though to me that, like, again, the shot link data kind of pisses me off. Would you say that the bunkers are kind of like the Great Wall of China? Like you're trying to hit it over the Great Wall of China, but you're like right next to it. Like how do you get over these bunkers? I'm kind of wondering how that's going to play out. I mean, it does play out every year. We've seen it, but it's because it does turn into a birdie fest, no doubt about it. And we're going to see that again. But looking at the past winners here, Hudson Swafford, we talked about him pre-show. He's won here twice. 2017, he also won. Siwoo Kim, who's coming off a victory, won here in 2021. Andrew Landry, who's playing horrible golf at the moment, just ridiculously bad. He won in 2020. And I think he's 600-1 for this tournament, Jack. Like 600-1. I mean, the guy that's won here, I don't know. We'll get there. But Adam Long, 2019, and you mentioned Jon Rahm, 2018. So, Jack, what do you say we go ahead and look at some of these outrights? Look at the betting board, break it down. Let's look at the top here. We got Jon Rahm, 6.5-1. Scotty Scheffler, 10-1. Patrick Cantlay, 12-1. Tony Finau, 14-1. Xander Schauffele is 20-1. I don't understand how right now, but he is 20-1. That top 5 there, Jack, are you getting to any of those guys?
Only reason Xander's 20-1 is because he withdrew at Century with a back injury.
Well, that's why I'm wondering. I'm saying I think he should be longer odds than that.
Oh, you think he should be longer?
Yeah, I do. I really do. I think with the back thing, he said it started back at the Hero World in December, and then he withdrew 2 weeks ago. Like, how do you make him 20-1 at this point? I can't bet him. I just can't.
It's a fair question. Apparently, he did get checked out, and I don't think he'd be here if he was okay. But it is risky, undoubtedly. No way around it. At the top of the board here, I can't bet Jon Rahm 6.5-1 at this tournament. Jon Rahm can win. That's awesome. Probably a good chance he does. He's that good, and he's on fire right now. I've talked about this on the show, but it's been a while, Joey. I firmly believe Jon Rahm's best is better than anyone's best.
Yeah,
His floor is like T8. Like, he is a killer out here, and he's playing great golf. I just can't bet him 6.5-1 in this tournament. That's a birdie fest, as he put himself. And we've also seen a lot of long shot winners here in the past. So I'm going to pass on Rahm. I'm going to pass on Scheffler. The two that interest me are Cantlay and Tony Finau. Finau was 18-1 to open up the week, and I'm pretty mad I missed out on that because I don't feel great about the 14 that's out there. Patrick Cantlay is a guy who's played really well here historically throughout his career, and on courses that he has historically played well on, he continues to run it back there. We've seen that at the Shriners, the BMW Championship, I can't think of the name of the tournament, but it's played at Murfield Village. He historically plays well in the same tournaments year after year. So Cantlay's probably the one that I'd lean to the most at 12-1, especially in a birdie fest where we know the putter is the strength of his game and can go absolutely bananas. So that's where I'm thinking up here. And realistically, I could probably only get on one guy under 20-1 this week. So my one would be Cantlay. My two would be Finau.
Yeah, I'll flip flop you there. I think my one is actually Finau. I did get him at 15-1.
Attaboy.
So I mean, slightly better. I'm only seeing him at, like you said, 14-1 now. But I mean, without looking, dude, like this has got to be Finau's best run of his career, right?
Oh,
Like
no doubt about it. No doubt about it.
absolutely no question. So I mean, this is, and we don't have to break down like the wins and like how well he's doing, but you know, the T7 at the Century, a little bit of everything to his game. You know, like that's just Finau, third in birdie or better rate, 12th or better in strokes gain approach, putting, tee to green, off the tee, total. He's second in strokes gain total. So yeah, I really like Finau coming in here. I think he's putting it together, and he's not a guy that's going to choke anymore. It really just doesn't feel like that. So if he's in the runnings there towards the end, he knows how to put it away. So
I think sorry to interrupt. I think he led the PGA Tour in Sunday scoring last year.
That's nuts right there. Yeah, I mean, this is not a Finau can get the job done. He's a veteran now, and I mean, not that he wasn't a veteran before.
He's gotten over that hump.
Yeah, he's gotten over the hump. So I definitely like Finau. Cantlay though, I mean, I do have interest in Cantlay. I think I might try to attack him in some head-to-heads. Honestly, dude, we're going to talk props later on, but Scheffler's a guy that I am fading, and I'm looking for golfers that are in similar price ranges to him at the top of the board to kind of get on this week in head-to-head matchups, because I don't think like top 40s and stuff like that are necessarily good approaches to like, or miscut is like a good approach for Xander, because he could easily make the cut, but he might just withdraw again too. So, I mean, really, who knows with him? Looking at the rest of this here, Cam Young, 22-1, Tom Kim, 22-1, Willie Z, Zalatoris at 22-1, Sungjae Im, 28-1. Before we get to the 3,500, 35-1, Taylor Montgomery. Anybody in here? I know you love Tom Kim and Willie Z. I'm also a huge Willie Z fan. So what do you think, Jack?
Yeah, this range is interesting. I've seen a lot of people on Cam Young this week, and I know he was up to 28 before that kind of got smashed down. I see it. I think this could be a course where Cam Young has the ability to go low. Give me Tom Kim, 22-1. I think, listen, every time he putts bad, which he did last week, he was horrible to miss the cut. His ball striking numbers were amazing, though. He led the field in ball striking through 2 rounds. He just couldn't make a putt. That's kind of been his Achilles heel so far in his short PGA Tour career. But every time he loses strokes putting so far in that short career, the following week he explodes and wins. So I feel like Tom Kim 22-1 is probably my favorite up here. I do like Willie Z. I think I need to see a little bit more before I get back on that hype train. And I also just like him on more difficult courses in general. I know that he shot a 61 here last year, and he has the capability to go low. I don't like that narrative. I just think I need to see a little bit more from him back from that injury before I hop on, as big of a fan as I am. The trouble that I have, Sungjae 28-1. I've been on Sungjae the last 2 weeks, and goddamn, I had FOMO last week. I'm not going to lie. There really wasn't any reason that I should be on Sungjae or even still want to be on Sungjae, even though he's never finished worse than 12th here in the last 4 years. His irons just have not been good, and that scares me probably a little bit more than the thought of Sungjae winning without me having a ticket on him. So I'm probably only going to get to Tom Kim in this range. Probably will start the card Patrick Cantlay, Tom Kim.
I don't hate it. Kim was probably the guy I was looking at too, but I also kind of like Taylor Montgomery because of the putting contest factor. There's got to
one though.
Yeah, I don't like that number. I'm not betting it. I haven't gotten anybody in this range though. So like I started with Finau and then I kind of skipped over this, but I don't know, man. I could see him definitely pulling off. Will Z, you kind of mentioned it. On a track like this, in an event where you really need to go low and it's going to be a birdie fest, I don't really know about Willie Z. Like, he's kind of, not that he can't get a ton of birdies. I mean, it's just the putting part of it where I could easily see him getting out putted and still finishing 7th, you know? So that's kind of where I'm at with Willie Z for that number here. Continuing on, we have Aaron Wise, the wise man, that little weasel, Brian Harmon, 40-1. Sam Burns, 40-1. Tom Hoagie Buns, 40-1. We got all the great nicknames of this. This is the great nickname range here. Cam Davis, 45-1. Si Woo Kim coming off the win, 45-1. Jack, what do you like from here, if anybody?
Dude, this range is really tough for me because I know that I can't get too heavy here. And I don't think I want to, even though this is where I'm a little bit torn because Siwoo won last week at 45-1. That's like considered a long shot nowadays. You know what I mean? I want to go a little bit deeper in this tournament. This is kind of where I wanted to talk it through a little bit. Because first off, in what world does Taylor Montgomery have better odds to win than Sam Burns? What are we talking about here? This 40-1 on Sam Burns is disrespectful.
It really is.
He's one of the best players in the world. I get Taylor Montgomery is putting the lights out week after week. The dude's never even sniffed a win. Sam Burns is winning regularly on the PGA Tour, beating Scotty Scheffler in playoffs, going back-to-back at the Valspar at a tough tournament. I get that he hasn't been on the major pedestal yet, but 40-1 for Sam Burns seems absolutely ridiculous. I do want to get on that. I'm not going to get on Wise. I'm not going to get on the Weasel. I like Burns. I like Hoagie. I like Davis. And I like Siwoo. I like them all. And maybe I end up betting two of them. I don't love that thought. I'd rather go with one, but there's a lot of cases to be made. Tom Hoagie has been playing some good golf, even though he hasn't been finishing at the top. And this is the stretch where he started to pop off last year, finished second here behind Hudson Swafford. Cameron Davis was a guy I was on last week and just had a bad putting week for him. I believe that he has the ability to bounce back. He's a really good par 3 and a par 5 scorer. So I think that's going to be key this week on all three courses. And then Siwoo has been absolutely nuclear with his irons, Joey. Siwoo putted, I heard this from Pat Mayo on his show. I think Siwoo had the 7th lowest strokes gained putting among a winner since 2015. He didn't even putt all that well in an event where putting is usually pretty key. He was just striking the lights out. So
he was putting it by the pin, man.
And on Sunday, he could have been 6 under through 6. I think he was 4-3 under through 6, but he missed a short 5-footer for par, missed another birdie that lipped out. He was feeling it on Sunday. Part of me feels like he can still carry that over. So this range is where I kind of have the most difficulty. What have you thought about this range so far?
Well, I think I hate you because I think you have talked me into 2 more guys in this range when I had 2 originally and I wasn't sure what to do as well. Hoagie's an automatic click.
Yeah, so, you love you some Hoagie Buns.
I mean, we cannot not bet Tom Hoagie. We cannot not. He's going to start at the Stadium course. He's going to tee off there first round. So I'm hoping he gets out fast and confident and then can kind of ride that. He's got a 2nd place finish here last year, T8 in 2020. I mean, he's played 9 rounds on the Pete Dye Stadium course, and he's been one of the better golfers in this field on that track. So I'm really hoping that Hoagie can start hot, continue the momentum on the easier courses, quote unquote, so to speak, and then kind of ride that wave. Siwoo, man, back to back. I mean, why not? Back to back, 2 weeks in a row at least is what I mean. I mean, he's won here before 2021. Although they didn't play at La Quinta that year, only the 2 other courses. I believe that was the COVID year. He had an 11th place finish here last year. Seems to be clutching up, man. And wasn't a guy who played the week before, so not showing so much rust last week, coming back off the swing season. So that was great to see for me. Maybe even regain some of that form with the time off. So I kind of like what we're seeing from Siwoo here. And, I mean, I don't know how you don't – I've seen a lot of love for Cam Davis. I'm not going to bet Cam Davis this week. I've just decided against it, contrarian-wise. Seen a lot of love, maybe a little too much for my liking. Sam Burns, you really talked me into that one. So
I don't even know if I want to bet him. That number is just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. And he's a good putter. Yeah.
Dude, he does everything well. Like as far as like just, I mean, as far as like his floor goes, he's got a great floor. You know, he's probably going to stay in contention. So if not like top 20 market, I don't know what the price is, but I really like a top 20 probably for Sam Burns. I really have no idea what the price is. If it's not at least some good plus money, I wouldn't take it. But yeah, looking down here, if you had to rank them though, real quick, Jack, how would you rank that? How would you rank that board there, that range?
It's a good question. I would go, you're going to love this. I'd go Tom Hoagie 1, which kind of
Yeah.
I'd probably go Tom Hoagie 1, Siwoo 2. He's won here before, plays well here. Cam Davis 3. As bad as it sounds, Sam Burns is probably my 4th because out of that range, I don't know. That's a really tough question. They're all really similar to me, but yeah, I'd probably go Hoagie, Siwoo, Davis, Burns.
Yeah, I don't hate it. Actually, I really love it because it means you picked the exact order of which I bet these guys. Hoagie was a click, and then Siwoo came to me. KH Lee 50-1, Sahith Theegala 60-1, Adam Hadwin 66-1, Andrew Putnam 66-1, Jason it's a beautiful day 70-1, JT Postman the Poston, or actually Poston the Postman 80-1, Wyndham Clark 80-1. What do you see, if anything, here? I mean, you know who I'm probably going to talk about, but go ahead, Jack.
Oh, I know. You're going to piss your money away on old Jason Day again, aren't you?
I haven't done it. I haven't done it yet. I'll admit, though. I'm not quite sure, but
I will say, if there's a stretch to bet Jason Day, it's these next 3 weeks. This is historically when he usually pops off, particularly next week at Torrey Pines, where he could have won last year. I would say for me, the interest is mostly on Sahith Theegala in this range. I understand the volatility, like just as likely to miss the cut as he is to finish anywhere in contention, maybe even more likely. But the upside is clear, and maybe I'm just putting a little too much stock in this, but he's a California guy, went to college at Pepperdine. He's a scorer. When he has it going right, he can go low. I'm probably gonna find a way to be on Sahith one way or another. KH Lee is another guy who like kind of quietly has been good, and these are quietly TPC courses. We know about TPC Lee over here. And Adam Hadwin is someone who has arguably the best track record of anyone here. I'm probably not going to be on Hadwin just because he hasn't played yet. To be fair, though, I did have like that thought going into this, and then I had the following thought being, well, I wonder if Adam Hadwin's ever played any of the Hawaiian tournaments before this event, because maybe that doesn't matter. That's just kind of the personal narrative that I'm building up in my head. So the only one I'll probably get on from this range is Sahith Theegala.
Yeah, I mean, Theegala I've seen some love for too this week, and it makes a ton of sense. Last time I bet him though, things did not go well for me. So maybe I'm holding a little bit of like bias.
That will happen. He can be plus 11. It will happen.
Yeah, and I think that's like right around where he was. It was bad. So I just couldn't quite do it this week. I'm probably not going to. The guy that I really like in this range is, and I haven't bet either for an outright anyways, and his odds were actually much better earlier in the week, but Andrew Putnam, T14, T21, and a 10th the last 3 years at the American Express. So he likes this event, likes these courses. Not a long ball hitter, but plays smart, avoids bogeys, 8th this season in bogey avoidance. My question is probably for him is, will he make enough birdies? And I think a top 40 market or even a top 20 is probably great for him this week, coming off the T4 last week, especially at the Sony Open. But I really do have questions about, can he make the birdies to really, really, truly contend in this field?
Yeah, Putnam actually, it was funny. I kind of dogged him last week, if you remember on the show. It was like I was like, I see Andrew Putnam's name, and I just never want to bet on him. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And then he literally went -8 on Saturday. He went from being on the cut line to all of a sudden being in contention with, I think, the round of the week, I believe. I understand Andrew Putnam here. I really do. I'm probably not going to get there, but I do understand that 100%.
Yeah, and Jason Day, real quick. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna bet him.
Just replay all the last 8 episodes.
Yeah, just go ahead and listen back.
He's healthy. Give me the spiel. Let me hear it.
I mean, it's the irons, right? Like the irons have really picked up, man. Like that's what it seems like. I don't think he didn't finish the fall swing though, that well, right? Like he didn't finish the greatest. Did he miss a cut? I think he missed one cut out of that.
My knowledge here, I can't recall. Wasn't winning.
Yeah.
So you definitely
No, he wasn't. He wasn't winning. But he was, dude. He was in contention. 4 of his 6, I believe, events in the fall swing, he finished top. I think he finished 21 or better in those 4 of the 6 official events. So, I mean, yeah, I don't hate Jason Day here. Like you said, this is probably the time that if you really want to bet him, you're going to bet him in these next few weeks. So, I really want to bet him. So I might end up betting him. Let's just say that.
I understand.
Pendrith 85-1, Ricky Fowler 90-1, Keith Mitchell, who we've talked about a lot on this show, is 95-1, and then you get to your 100 range. Davis Riley, Denny McCarthy, who can really putt. Maybe this is a course for him. Harris English, Will Gordon, and then you've got guys way a little bit longer than that. But anything from that 90-1 to 100-1 range, Jack?
Honestly, not much interest here. Davis Riley, I feel like he's just someone I've been betting for a while now because I believe in his talent. 100-1 seems like a decent number on him. I don't have like a ton of interest though. Harris English is an interesting one to me. Harris English has been working his way back. Unlike Webb Simpson, who's toast, by the way.
Oh, God. Yeah, is he dead?
He's toast. He played terrible last week. Harris English is working his way back. That's too big of a number for Harris English. I know he hasn't been himself in a year. It's too big of a number. He shouldn't have worse odds than Ricky Fowler. I mean, come on. I love Ricky, but like Harris English is an actual winner. What are we doing here? So that's really all the interest I have out of that range. There are some interesting names as you start to dig down here, though, and I probably will find a way on a couple of them. A couple of your boys down here, too, are back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm a little bit – I'm like kind of caught in that, wow, these are juicy numbers for a lot of the guys that I normally like to bet, and are they really going to win this week? That's kind of what like I'm very much caught in that trap, I guess. I don't even know if it's a trap. I don't want to get stuck in the trap by betting them is, I guess, the better way to put it. The Grill Master, 120-1. The Field of Berm, Dean Burmester, the Mista guy, 125-1. I mean, yeah, we got some of my guys on. Thomas Dietrich, I like betting, 130-1. We were on the Todd Father recently, 150-1. That didn't work out. Luke List, 150. I think he was 200-1 earlier in the week, and now he's 150-1. So he's gotten hit in some markets by some sharp bettors. I don't know, Jack. Like David Lipsky even looks a little bit interesting here because he's coming off a decent outing, and I think he's done pretty well here. So at least he's had, I think, at least one good showing here at this course, or these courses, I should say. Yeah, I don't know, man. What are you thinking with long shot odds between the 120 and maybe 200 range?
Yeah, I don't really know what to make of it. I feel like these are good numbers for these guys, but I know we see them win here, but feels like the last year's just been a lot different on the PGA Tour. And the cream of the crop is here. This is undoubtedly the best field the American Express has ever had.
Yeah, is it 10 of the top 20 in the world or something?
Yeah, this is a massive uptick in field strength for the American Express. So I don't know. There's a couple guys I like. I'll spew out names here. Not going to provide too much detail. Thomas Dietrich, 130-1, a guy he's been right there seemingly every time he starts on the PGA Tour. 130-1 feels like a good number for him. S.H. Kim was another guy who's kind of hovered around contention since the fall swing. Popped up again last week, 130-1. You mentioned Lipsky, 130-1. Before we get on down past 200, yeah, that's probably it for me from that range, actually. Those are probably the only names that pop up. Maybe Ben Griffin. Ben Griffin keeps popping up. A lot of people around Ben Griffin. I'm probably not as high on him as some other people, but those are probably the names that stand out the most to me this week. But that probably means that Brendan Todd's going to be in contention because I never get him right.
It probably means the Jägermeister out of nowhere.
Jägerbombs.
I think Callum Tarrant, as we look like a little bit further, 200-1 is kind of interesting here. This could be a place where he does pretty well.
Callum Tarrant, when he makes the cut, he finishes top 20. He is king volatility.
Oh, you can hit him at some decent, like plus 600, plus 800 odds for a top 20, something like that. I'm not sure where he's at this week, but some weeks you can really get him at a good number.
Yeah, I mean, be wary. He will miss the cut. He will do it.
Hey, that's fine. He'll pay off when he gets those top 20s. He'll pay off for the weeks that you lose. So
exactly.
It's definitely worth a little bit of a little sprink, little sprink and bink. Yeah, Sam Ryder, I can't do it. Sorry, my friend. Just can't do it. Adam Long, well, he has one, right? He's one here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
I was on him a couple times in the fall, and he didn't do shit.
Yeah, I can't do it. Aaron Rye, I'm just off of this week. It's just I can't do Rye this week. Let's see. Where else did I kind of Matthew Neesmith.
Yes, that was the one that's 250 to 1.
What are we doing?
That is so rude. I have to bet it. I have to bet Matt Neesmith 250 to 1. That's a mistake. It's a mistake.
I'm actually upset that you're getting him now at 250 to 1 because when I saw him it was 200 and I bet him at 200. So he got worse. What do they know about him? What do they know about him? What did the books know? What did he do this week? Did he get into a car wreck and barely got shooken up, went to the hospital, went back home? What happened with him this week? I hate to say that. Now I feel terrible now putting that out in the universe. That's absolutely horrible. I hope nothing ever happens to him. But this is dude, that's a disrespectful number. Very disrespectful number for Matthew Neesmith.
Yeah, that's one that I automatically have to bet. 250 to 1 is way too big. But after that, not a lot.
Stewie?
You beat me to it. 300 to 1 on old Stewie Sink. Won twice a couple of years ago. Sure, I don't know. He's
golfing all right.
He's the one that stood out to me, and then the other one that stood out to me is my bias that I have for Satoshi Kodaira. But this is a course that Kodaira, who probably no one has any idea who he is. He just peppers fairways. Guys just peppers fairways. 450 to 1. Let me throw $5 on it.
I don't hate it, man. Adam Shank. I don't know. Bet on some talent. 320 to 1. Bet on some talent. I'm not going to tell you to do it, but that's what I did. Andrew Landry.
You getting there?
600 to 1 with enhanced odds. I mean, it's like trying to hit a fastball, like a face high 100 mile per hour fastball. It's probably not going to happen, but and he's been awful, to be honest. But he does have a win and a second place finish at these courses. So what the hell? If he can do it, it's probably here, right?
That does make sense. I would not take Andrew Landry elsewhere.
600 to 1, dude, $5 on that. Yeah, I might have to do it. Props, man. What do you got for props? Anything?
Yeah, I was just kind of scoping them out. I haven't thought too much about it because, again, this is just a wonky tournament, and I don't know if I want to really invest in this market all that much. We talked about Sam Burns earlier. Plus 190 for a top 20. Feels like a pretty good line for Sam Burns. Top 40, I had who peeped my eye. Thomas Dietrich, plus 130.
Don't hate it.
He's a top 40, top 20 king, if I'm being honest. Top 40 at plus money feels like good value on Thomas Dietrich. Those are the ones that stood out the most to me. I'm going through the nationality props for the first time right now to see if anything stands out. You got anything for props, though, while I do that?
You know who you can find at least plus 220 on FanDuel, and he might be better somewhere else? Matthew Neesmith. I just scoped it out real fast. Top 40. Matthew Neesmith. Are you kidding me? You're going to disrespect him with the outright market. You're disrespecting him in the top 40 market. So go ahead, give me that. Looking at Andrew Putnam, too, for a top 40. I grabbed him last night at minus 105 on DraftKings. I know you're laying just a little tiny bit of juice, but possibly a top 22 for Putnam. Plus 240, I saw him in a couple books. So I like that. My boy, Jason Day, top 40. If he's not going to win, he probably has a decent finish here, right? Plus 115, I caught him at. I do like that. We talked about the reasons why. I mean, he hovered around top 40 at this event last year, despite playing worse golf at the time, overall as just a golfer. So he was T49 last year. So I like those three. Not really hitting too many of the nationalities, at least at this moment. And I will be on some matchups, I think. Definitely look at the Xander Schauffele market. Bet against him, I should say. definitely bet against Xander Schauffele if he's against one of those like big dogs, maybe like the top 7 favorites on the board. If he's matched up, what's that?
Watch him win.
Watch him win. Yeah, I'm gonna feel like such a bozo, dude. The back's perfectly fine. He went to a chiropractor. Everything's good. One and done, Jack. You got a one and done? Well, we have to do one and done.
I'm looking at it right now. By the way, both our boys last week tied for 30 seconds, so we finished even there. I had Russell Henley. You had the Weasel, Brian.
That was not supposed to happen.
I know the Weasel didn't really come through for you. I am still going first. You still got some work ahead of you. Long season though, as I continue to reiterate. You know what? I'm going with Siwoo Kim.
Ooh, burning him.
Yeah, I don't think I'm too worried about that.
All right.
Siwoo Kim.
So you don't, and I did bet him as an outright, and and you do like him as an outright this week. We both do. You're not too. We didn't really discuss this, but you're not too worried about like a hangover this week then with Siwoo. Then I take it.
No, I'm not really too worried about that. Those South Koreans mean business. I think.
And he's won in the past too. It's not his first win, so.
No, he's won the American Express.
Yeah, right. So yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see. One and done.
Siwoo, yeah, I have not burned him this year.
Siwoo, I don't hate it at all. We really like him this week. I'm gonna go with the man you bashed last week. Guy I'm taking top 40, a guy I might take outright. Hopefully there's some putting for Mr. Andrew Putnam.
Wowza.
That's going to be my one and done. I'm not worried about burning him. Just not.
You should not be.
So one and done, baby. Hopefully I can pick up some steam here. I don't like the matchup if we're taking a head-to-head with Siwoo and Putnam. I would take Siwoo, but I just don't want to burn anybody else right now at this moment. So
I totally get it. That's why I went with Siwoo. I'm not too worried about burning him later. I don't think.
Yeah, definitely. Jack, any final thoughts before we wrap this thing up? Words of wisdom, anything to watch for this weekend, even though we don't know what we're watching for, and we don't even know if we can watch it.
Yeah, no, it's not my favorite event.
To say the least.
Could produce, I do think it could produce an interesting leaderboard on Sunday, considering anyone can be there. I am excited for Sunday. I'm just not really excited to not know how the rest of the tournament is going other than at the stadium course. So hopefully we can, find Pater this week, man, get back to business here in 2023. It's been a bit of a shaky start, but we were on good track in the fall. Just got to find it again, baby. And hopefully it's this week at the Amex.
I'm hoping, man. I definitely need a winner here in this new season. So close with Collin Morikawa. I know that wasn't last week, but it just still stings. It really, really still stings. Especially when you see Jon Rahm's number just creeping down. Like I could have had Jon Rahm at a little bit of a better number. I can't see myself betting Jon Rahm at this point now.
No.
So it's, whatever. Water under the bridge, cash in the dumpster and burnt. So whatever, doesn't matter, I guess. Make sure you go ahead and go to ontapsportsnet.com and check out all the great work over there. Chicago sports content. We have betting content, of course. Jack wrote up his American Express 2023 odds, course and field breakdown and some key stats there. So go check that out. Check out Cubs on Tap here in a little bit. We should be doing a show. And then Bears on Tap, I believe they're rolling tonight. Not sure what other shows are rolling, but we got Bulls on Tap. We have Four Feathers podcast for the Blackhawks. We have Sox on Tap. Check out all that stuff. Jack is at Jack Bushman 2. I am at Joey Knows Nothing. And we have On Tap Golf at On Tap Golf. It's Golf on Tap, but it's at On Tap Golf on Twitter. And we are at On Tap Bets as well. So definitely go ahead and check out all those social media platforms. With that said, Jack, I think I already said final words, but any final words before we head on out of here?
I wish we could fast forward 3 weeks. I hate all of these tournaments, but hopefully I win money on them. Here's my final thought.
Let's make some money, crack them, cash them, lock them, and we're out. Good luck.